Luminaria Creative Arts Festival, where it was a showcasing of different artists.
It's an opportunity for people and creatives in the city to come together and display just all the different art and creativity.
Visual artists, musical artists.
I guess expressing kind of what art means to them.
And the festival is based around a display of lights and how the artists are going to interact with that.
And this year we were invited to participate and showcase what we do.
We wanted to do something really cool, interactive, that kind of told the story a little bit about us as fishermen.
We wanted to do something fun, we wanted to do something exciting.
We have lights and visuals at our disposal. How can we include a crowd into making this an experience?
The original plan was to kind of have like three kind of projections that are all interactive.
You had almost a visual scheme already.
He had little drawings of cannons aiming inwards at the stage and explaining to us how these cannons are going to fire off.
What we had envisioned for this was to kind of song by song take the people there on this experience of what Civil War meant to us.
Just considering all the events over the past 2 years,
Having to deal with people and having to deal with ourselves.
The internal struggle and the outward projection of those emotions.
it's the same thing that you're seeing manifest in different tensions or conflicts.
Politics, division.
It's just an outward representation of the same thing that I think is happening inside every individual. And so that's that civil war of the soul, as Dr. Martin Luther King would say.
It's something that just in the back of our hearts and in the back of our minds, we're always thinking about that Civil War.
How that plays out with us as we interact on stage, but then also inviting the audience into that same story.
I think a lot of times at like festivals and shows, the audience is always like spectators, and it's like it's often like this was a wonderful opportunity to be able to have them become participants along with us.
I guess we were sitting around brainstorming, like how could we make that visual aspect of it more immersive, and I think the first idea was Nerf guns. We were like throwing out the idea of how many, like we could buy like 100 Nerf guns, but that evolved into the silly string.
Towards the end, we were gonna have just kind of this explosion with silly string and people just live streaming it.
We wanted to kind of redeem this idea of wearing a body cam and that keeping a crowd accountable and capturing real time this tension that when they expose in themselves and kind of that ugliness that's still out there in society. Also capturing this fight, this civil war.
It was basically like a 3, 2, 1 countdown.
And everybody's getting excited, and I see everybody getting their silly string, and,
Getting armed.
holding 3 cans if they can.
And like as soon as we like kind of came in with that first chord on Fire Me Up, you just see silly string start splattering left and right.
The silly string goes everywhere.
We got like silly string coming at us on stage.
And I remember getting like a mouthful of like a ball of silly string shot like right in my. Gabe was just saying the stage got covered.
My keyboards were literally flooded.
Like the floor is slippery.
It's on my guitar, like I'm trying to play a chord, and it's like I can feel it muffled.
Yeah, all these things that we didn't really think about.
Just remember thinking like the joy and like the freedom that was happening at that moment, because no matter what background you come from, no matter what was going on during your day at that moment or whatever, all you knew is you had a can of silly string and everything was so much better after that. So much fun.
So I'm thinking that's what that Civil War like inside me and in my life looks like. And it literally like in that moment, it's like it does look like a Civil War, especially considering the silly string was red and blue.
I think the best thing about it for me was that just seeing everybody doing it all together. It was just this unison thing that it's such a moment that needs to be experienced.
We're a story that's going to keep going. We can't promise that every show's going to have silly string, that every show's going to be this kind of an experience, but we aim for every show to touch your heart in that capacity, to speak to you at the core of your being on a spiritual level, and so we'll use whatever creative means we can to draw the audience and our family and our friends into that experience with us.
It's definitely a family thing.
We just hope that people keep coming out and that we can share this with other people.
That's how we roll.